afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a GameStar presentation, round 2 for, try number 2 at our lobby here. It looks like we are finally underway between the two teams here, Koreanbbq, A-Set, and Ezreal Life, and they're actually the opposite way that they are on the title, but nonetheless, we will go ahead and get into the champion select here. My name is Coldblood, and I'll be bringing this game to you solo, as we have some chums in the Twitch chat talking about their drunken endeavors, as I believe it is Peachbat's brother saying hello, as well as On Solus and Arcadian 3. So shouts out to you fellas, thanks for tuning in. This is round K here in Respawn. This match is getting pretty important to decide who will advance to the round before the quarterfinals, so starting to heat up here. The ban has been threshed the whole time, so I think it's safe to say that our blue team here, Ezreal Life, they really did not want Thresh getting through, as all 15 attempts at the lobby, they did ban him out. LeBlanc and Rumble as well. I'm not sure if they're afraid of Rumble because of the skin, which of course makes him look awesome, or if it's a targeted ban, or if it's just a general respect. We don't like going against Rumble ban. LeBlanc is going to be taken out of the pool as well. And for the other side, we have Lulu, Wukong, and Ryze banned out. Very popular champs that have been seeing a lot of play in the LCS. Lulu mid, Ryze top, Wukong jungle. So they're spreading it around a little bit. The LeBlanc ban makes a lot of sense now that Orianna has been locked in, because of course Ori has a decent landing phase. Only hardcore assassins can take her down, and mostly the AP assassins, because AD she can shield and kite them, but AP like LeBlanc would just get her stuff down and kill. As Renekton and Vi will be the follow-up ban. So top and jungle have really been prioritized here at Respawn today, but of course that's going to be broken by the acquisition of Morgana, which we can assume is going bot. It's interesting to pick up a Morgana support this early. She's normally a reaction pick against something like a Leona. So picking them this early, I mean, it could be a top Morgana. It's not unheard of, but we'll assume for the time being that it will be going bot. Shout out to Exerion, who's saying Peachbat, get out of here. So I think we have a lot of Peachbat fans, so hopefully she doesn't let them down. If she's playing the Orianna, it's very easy to let people down with Orianna, because she is incredibly difficult to play. Her and Cassiopeia, the only champions in the game with the maximum difficulty bar on the scale. And we have Ziggs and Caitlyn picked, so both very safe picks, which makes a lot of sense against the acquisition of a Evelynn. No one wants to try and deal with the stealth that she brings to the table. You never know where she is unless you place wards down at the buffs. So picking long-range safe picks, which they have escapes, not the most reliable escapes, but they can close the distance, or further the distance, I guess. And yeah, I really do like that one. So they still have their support open. This is the not the Ezreal Life, the Koreanbbq A-Set guys, as the AD carry and the top laner coming into consideration. Love to see a Quinn or a Twitch. That'd be great. But you need someone that can deal with Kate, and really the only people who can deal with Kate, Jinx and Lucian, but they're going to go ahead and go for Tristana, who of course rivals her range later on, but has a lot of trouble early on. Trist it's an interesting pick, considering that there's still no support picked up. Like, we could still see a Leona or anything really come out that could really make Trist's laning phase difficult. She's got a lot of ability damage, but that scales off rather quickly once you get into the mid game, and then she relies on the range and the rapid fire steroid, which of course did have its mana cost removed, so it's a little bit more usable. We will have a Vladimir going against Renekton, which is a very interesting matchup, both resourceless. Vlad does use a little bit of health on his abilities, but more than makes up for it with the transfusion. And the Woda changes, Will of the Ancients, are definitely favoring him, so I can see this working. And Renekton, there's not many things that he can't bully, but it's going to be an interesting matchup. Karma is the last pickup here, picking up a lot of steam in both the NA and the EU LCS as a support, as people realize that she is really damn strong, particularly with the AP, with the AP GP10. She becomes very good. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the champion select to end here so we can reveal the summoner spells. Shout out to Ace and Dags, who's saying hello, and even Peach Bat is saying raise your Peach Bat. So we got a whole fan club in the Twitch chat here. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully Peach Bat doesn't let you down with her Morgana play. And we've seen a lot of great Morganas today. Actually, a lot of bindings landing, a lot of ults that can really mess up the likes of a Vi and a Renekton. I really like the Tristana pick now I think about it, because Vi and Renekton are massive threats to an AD carry. But Tristana, she has a very strong self-peel. She can rocket jump away, she can buster shot them away, and then just blast them from range while they try and make their way back to her. So I do like that pick. We will now reveal the summoners. And Caitlyn was rock and heal for a little bit, but they decided to chuck that spell on the Karma instead. So very, very defensive with the barrier and the heal coming out for them. We have the exhaust on Peach Bat, which makes a lot of sense against the Vi and the Renekton, particularly since when Vi comes in, sets her sights on poor little Tristana. Barrier is not going to do a whole heck of a lot. Exhaust, if you get an exhaust off onto the Caitlyn, bind the Karma or the other way around, or do something with Vi, that would be a wasted assault and battery, because Trist will be able to get out of there quite easily at that point. So I like taking the exhaust over here, but for the other side, the amount of burst there is, particularly with a Quadra AoE AP comp, with the Agony's Embrace, the Shockwave, the Soul Shackles, and then Hemoplague amplifying all of that, I think heal is much, much better of a choice at keeping someone else alive, because, yeah. And for the same reason, we see barrier on the Ziggs, so just going very defensive against the Evelynn Orianna there, capable of a lot of damage. Evelynn, her Dark Frenzy gives a massive amount of movement speed, so she's able to deliver the ball right onto poor Ziggs very, very quickly. Of course, Ziggs does have Satchel Charge, which he can use to get away and to knock Evelynn away from him. So it's definitely going to be a skill matchup in most of these lanes, actually. Going to be interested to see how Vi does with the changes to Wriggles. Probably expect her to go for either a Elder Lizard or an Ancient Golem in the Spirit Stone line. But, I mean, there's the potential for her to pick up Wriggles, because she does clear reasonably well and scales off of attack speed. Not nearly as much as just, you know, pure AD and CDR and whatnot. So my name is Coldblood, for those who are wondering. A shout out to Saddam Zors, as the Peach Bat serenade is continuing. And, yeah, so waiting for the loading screen to come up here. We'll be able to see who has the most awesome skins in the skin battle. Hopefully we have Cop Vi coming out. Now, as far as the mid game goes, with an AoE comp, it can be a bit of a double-edged sword. Hit or miss, feast or famine, there's many metaphors for it. They can get ahead and absolutely demolish everyone, or they can fall behind and not be able to do much. But Orianna able to farm reasonably well. Evelynn able to do a lot of damage while building tanky. Vlad's going to be able to do a lot of AoE, as well as amplifying everyone's AoE. And then Triss scales really hard as well. So if they get ahead and they can accelerate Triss late game, they're going to go very well. This being the Ezreal life guys and girl, unless there's more than one girl. But for the other side, they've got Kate, who's very strong, Karma, who's very strong, Ziggs, who can counter push very well, and the Satchel Charge can be highly disruptive as well. We have it's funny actually, because Al Stewart is a renowned Ziggs player, and now he has to play against it. Well, they did first pick the Orianna, so he really wanted that one. So he knows how Ziggs works. Of course, he has gone against it himself, and yeah. So as far as level 1 power goes, the Orianna ball granting vision and the Morgana binding being a ungodly amount of snare at level 1 means that Ezreal life, they definitely have a stronger level 1. That's not even factoring in Tristana, who can get resets with the rocket jump, decent auto attacks with rapid fire, and of course auto attacks are most of the damage in a level 1 fight. So yeah, I definitely think if there's going to be any level 1 aggression, it will come from Ezreal life. Although Evelynn really likes to get a hassle-free start on the buff, whereas Vi, she's much more rough and tough kind of. She can take a bit of damage and still be fine with her buff. She can start anywhere, whereas Eve, a little bit more fragile. She's purposely got small armor, and yeah, prefers to have a better start. So we got some loading problems from the blue team, which they were having before. No, it looks like AQN finally in. Shout out to Koreanbbq, who is going against the crowd and going for Koreanbbq. I said good for him or her for showing their support for the team that they go for. Now, the only other summoner spell thing that is interesting is that the Flash Ghost onto our Bloodlord Vlad here means he's going to be very, very mobile. He's going to be able to get away from Vi Renekton. Well, I don't know. It's hard to get away from Vi, and it's kind of hard to get away from Renekton. But Vlad really relies on being close to the enemy, and both of those summoner spells assist greatly with that. He has Ignite against him, though. This Croc is not rocking the teleport, so it's a bit of a trade-off. The Flash goes much better later on in the game when he needs to keep up with the enemy team to throw out the Tides of Blood and whatnot. But if he gets killed several times due to Ignite, it's definitely going to be the trade-off. And then, of course, we saw some awesome Flash Ignites coming out of a Croc in the last game. So you got to keep that in mind too. And for skin battle, I think we definitely got to hand it to our blue team. Yeah, they've got a skin on everyone, whereas there's a couple of non-skins here on the side of Koreanbbq ASET. So representing our teams here in round K of our Respawn League of Legends action, we have Peachbat as your Morgana. She will be joined by AQN on the Rocket Girl Tristana. We have Alf Stewart in the mid as the Orianna. We have Al at the top as Vladimo. I think he actually played Vlad at Landslide and absolutely dominated with it. So, and I think he did run Flash and Ghost as well. So, funnily enough, we know that he's very good at it. And rounding them out is Horse on the Evelyn. And a representing Koreanbbq ASET here, who at least have Cone Wad going for them, which is much better than nothing. We have Framer as the Renekton, Danshi Bunny as your Vi, Hipto as our Ziggs. He played very well on Orianna in the previous game, and now he's against it, so he definitely knows how she works in the laning phase. Cruiser, Drizzle, and Chubby will be your bottom lane for Koreanbbq ASET. We saw Chubby making a lot of plays on the Leona in the previous game. Karma, much more of a reactive support, like we said, but she can still dish out a lot of damage, do a lot of soft CC with the slows and whatnot. Can definitely keep targets at bay, unless of course they have Black Shield, which is available to the side of Ezreal Life. We don't see any aggression coming out from both teams. They both just spread out and just make sure that their junglers can start at the red. Normally you see both junglers starting at the bottom and working their way up to try and gank top at level 3 if they can, otherwise just continue farming down. But we have Vi starting at red. I'm wondering if she expects Eve to go for a blue and meet her there, or well, I guess CDR doesn't do a whole heck of a lot for Vi in the early couple levels, so the red buff's probably going to speed up her clear just a little. We might fix this down here so we can actually tell who's against what. Might be a good idea, although of course good guy Koreanbbq doing that for me already. So in this early game, Evelyn definitely getting ahead here, and I like this play out of Ezreal Life. They're making sure that Vi is not at Evelyn's blue, because Vi would absolutely destroy this poor squishy Evelyn. Considering none of them have combat stats because of a Hunter's Machete, Vi is a lot stronger in her base kit in the first couple of levels. Evelyn really needs to start the fight on her own terms to be good. Nice ward being placed there by Renekton that will reveal, actually won't reveal much of anything really. But if Evelyn speeds through with the Dark Frenzy up, she will note that it's there. And yeah, so nice warding coming out of Koreanbbq set. They're putting them where Evelyn would speed up to, because of course if you pop Dark Frenzy, you come out of stealth. She'd go into stealth near those wards. So it's very smart there. Shout out to Kadamaranan, who's actually the organizer of the League of Legends here at Respawn. That was a plot twist at the end of the last game. He was sitting about 5 meters away from me the whole time. And he's a good guy. He's doing very well at organising the action here at Respawn, even when the players take frickin' ages to get anything organised themselves. So in the mid lane, we see the gank onto Alf Stewart. Not going to force him to blow anything at all. Actually, we're going to miss the first blood at the top lane. Sorry, we're going to have to jump back and find out exactly what happens. So Evelyn going to be stealth, and Framer goes forward at the worst possible time. Dice will go on cooldown, and there's not a lot he can do at this point. You're not going to outrun a Vlad with Flash and Ghost. That was a lot of damage on Transfusion with 11 health, and the cloth armor, he was definitely showing Renekton much more respect than Framer was showing the Vlad, which cost him in the end, because Al, we know that he's good on Vladimir thanks to last week's games, and yeah, well, he's now gotten through that difficult stage. As soon as Vlad hits level 9, he has a much easier time. Bottom lane AQN going to be forced out. The Black Shield was used just to make sure that the detonation of Inner Flame wouldn't do too much. And yeah, whoa. AQN, whoa, still taking a lot of poke, holy heck. We've got to, again, it's a matter of respect. You've got to respect that there's a lot of damage at long range there. In the mid lane, Al Stewart and Horse going to jump onto Abto. Satchel Charge will be used, but maybe too late. He actually has a barrier, and the barrier will ensure that he lives to farm another day. He's actually beating Orianna in the farm by a little bit, although it will even out once this finishes. And Evelyn just continuing the Marauder train to the bottom here. A Dark Binding will be vital to start this one off. But I don't know, even if Eve gets the jump here, I don't know if there's a lot she can do. Yeah, she's going to back off because Karma and Caitlyn, very slippery. You've got the, what is it, the Inspiration, the Inspire, and then the net jump. You're not going to be locking that down very easily. So Vlad goes back to the base. He has all kind of the components of a Seekers. He has more the, you know, just the cloth armor for Renekton, and then building towards the Revolver. As Renekton stacking up his Doran's, he's going to go for the Doran's Blade, so he knows that he can't let Vlad farm. So the Doran's Blade is a smart pickup. He can't allow this Vlad to just free farm all over him. He's still ahead in the CS, even though Vlad is AoE farming. And getting the in-combat stats early on definitely going to help him out, because Vlad's going to outscale him anyway, so he may as well try and force her out. Horse going to be running around the jungle. They're actually going to get next to Hipto. Nice satchel charge there, going to get him out of the way. As Alf Stewart does have a whole chalice over Hipto's. Well, he has about half a chalice, which doesn't give you too much here. The magic resist definitely is going to help against Evelyn and Orianna, but the mana regen's really what he wanted to be able to stay back. The aggression is going to go onto him again. He does not have either of his summoner spells. He's actually going to jump himself back into the waiting arms of Ezreal Life, and they will pick that one up for themselves as well. So, nice gank there by Evelyn, once again having her presence felt. As Danshi Bunny just trying to farm towards the Assault and Battery. He's decided to level the Vault Breaker, which means he wants to be ganking. He wants a lower cooldown, because the cooldown goes down significantly with levels. It starts at like 19, and now as you can see, it's now 13. He's going for a damage build as well, so is very confident in the Karma's ability to protect him, which is fair enough, because Chubby, very talented support. We've seen that earlier on the Savo. As the Twitch chat is mocking poor Hipto for his jump. To be fair, he's got very dark goggles on. It'll be difficult to see through those. Although if they work like actual swimming goggles, it's probably pretty easy to see. Poking, continuing at the bottom lane. The farm looking quite good for AQN, honestly, because he should be getting bullied out really hard by the Kate. And he's still managing to keep up somewhat in the last hit, so doing a very good job there. Of course, Tristana's passive with her explosive shot, very difficult to last hit under the tower if you're making other ones low. So getting a bit of help from the Morg is certainly welcome, as Karma's going to be chucking another aggressive ward down just to try and spot out that Eve. Up at the top lane, Al's going to be jumped on here. Assault and Battery is available, and as soon as the pull's over, he's going to be jumped on. Tries to flash. Will it be enough? A flash punch out of Danshi Bunny. 301 gold going to our raging lesbian of a jungler. Brilliant work by Danshi Bunny and by Framer. And he's immediately going to turn that into gaining some vision on the blue. I really like that decision. Horse going to be down at the bottom lane. Forces both summoner spells out of the Karma and only the barrier out of the Kate. So very successful gank in the mid lane. Al Stewart going to go down to the auto attack of the Orianna, as Peachbat getting very aggressive, knowing that Horse is nearby. And Cruiser Drizzle, he's a bit confused. He doesn't know whether he should go in or go out. Very fast thanks to the Berserker's Greaves Boots too, means that he can kite in and out and just disengage whenever he pleases. Framer going to be recalling in the bush here after picking up an assist on Mr. Al, who has now his revolver as well as a boots. Danshi Bunny going to be taxing in the mid lane here. Nice binding by Peachbat, going to shut down that aggression from the Kate. AQN would have been, you can see it's very annoying to deal with a Caitlyn who is this fast. So that dark binding is going to help them out a lot in the long run. Oh, both AD carries got to be careful here, especially the Ezreal life guys, because an ace in the hole at this point would get the kill. So nice sneaky Baron here by Danshi Bunny. There is no vision for the blue team. So this is, yeah, fantastic opportunity taking. It's going to help even out the gold. They're actually bang on even with the gold with that very opportunistic Baron. Well played by Danshi Bunny and Hypto to secure that one, although it was more Danshi Bunny for making that call. And Al Stewart's like, wait a second, what the heck's going on here? As he actually has the really cool Tombstone skin for his ward. And we got the Challenger Season 3. Oh, not Challenger, just the Season 3 ward, which is, again, pretty cool, but not as cool as a hooded spider thing. Hypto has returned to the mid lane, doing decently on CS despite the pounding he's been taking from Al Stewart thanks to the ganks from Horse. As how's the Evelyn going? She's got a Spirit of the Elder Lizards. Could go for a Hex Shrinker or a Randuin's. As oh, I think I must have accidentally said Baron. This is Dragon, guys. This is called Dazza. Baron is not even with us at the moment, so sorry for that mishap. It's I think this is the 4th game I've cast, so it's getting on in the afternoon and only getting cloudier. As I've heard that Melbourne's been raining for a couple of days now. I only just got in yesterday from Canberra, but it's been the same in Canberra. Very miserable weather. Pink Ward is going to pay for itself by alerting them to the fact that Horse is indeed skulking around. The CS at the top, Framer doing a brilliant job of pulling him back. Going to be picking up his Spectre's Cow very soon. Al, as Ninja Tabby, again, a very smart decision, particularly since the jungler is, of course, AD, being that Vi punches you in the face. And, of course, he did go down to the flash punch in the face by Vi. It's exactly what she likes doing, punching things in the face, particularly if they're evil like Vladimir, as this skin just makes him from a pun artist into more evilness. Is Assault and Battery ready here? It is indeed. Will Alf Stewart be able to get out in time? He's going to clear the way. Nice satchel charge. Will get her away, but I don't think there's a lot he can do. Nice Mega Inferno bomb. Will the bomb land? It does, but excessive force not enough to finish off Alf Stewart there. And the flash is used by Hypto to try and get that last one. Fantastic flash from Alf Stewart. That was almost a sure kill there for the Koreanbbq set. So they use a lot of cooldowns, but Horse is going to have to give up his wraiths for that one. So nicely played by Koreanbbq set. They didn't end up getting the kill thanks to the flash, and Ziggs' own flash was burned. Does have barrier up in a couple seconds, so he'll be okay. How much gold is he sitting on? 1,000. So I don't think he can quite get the chalice. He could go for a Fiendish Codex and then a boots, or maybe he can get it now with the tower going down. No, he's just going to do what I said before. First structural casualty of the game will go the way of Koreanbbq A set. I have no idea what the A set is, but I guess they're the A team of the Koreanbbq, which is very nice actually. I went to Melbourne a couple months ago, and I had some an Asian barbecue. It was goddamn amazing. So much better than Australian barbecues, and Australian barbecues are awesome. So if that convinces you to go try some, what was it? It was some green stuff wrapped around broccoli. It was really nice. No, green stuff wrapped around bacon. It was really nice. There's green stuff wrapped around broccoli, probably no good. Tristana going to be farming down at the bot. That is exactly what Ezreal Life need to do. They need to get some room for their Tristan farm. As Beachbat going to transition up to the mid here to help them hold off. Between Orianna and Morgana, there's going to be little to no tower pushing going on here by the side of Koreanbbq. And I mean, Ziggs and Caitlyn, they're really good against the towers. And even Karma, like, they're able to quickly get up to the towers, but then their wave just disappears. So, a bit of a stalemate at the moment, and I think the bottom lane of Koreanbbq agree they're going to continue to farm up on their Kate. She's going to be very necessary later on when Triss starts destroying towers with rapid fire and her Blade of the Ruined King from a very safe range. So Kate's going to have to be able to equal that so they can have the same kind of tower pushing potential. Of course, the Ezreal life guys, they're happy if they're getting pushed on, because if they get a good Dark Binding, a good pickup from Evelyn, like a sneak behind and pick off, or even just a Shockwave, they're going to do a lot. I mean, the Karma pick makes all sense. Actually, going to have to return to that thought, because Owl is going to die at the bottom lane here. Again, Vi waiting off to the side. And again, a little bit of an early pull from Owl. Flash forward by Danshi Bunny. Another flash by Renekton. And they should be able to take this one down. Hemo Plague going to be used, but against two very durable members of Koreanbbq, not a lot that can be done. So that equals up the kill, well, kind of equals up the kills. But the entire time, there's a gank in the mid, so we're going to have to go find out what happens here exactly. So both the junglers are doing amazing things for their teams. As Horse going to get up to Hypto here. And just as I said, nice Shockwave is going to negate the satchel charge there. And Horse will not be able, or will be able to get out rather. As it looks like both the junglers and the solo laners are going to be smashing apart the towers. As Chubby is going to head up and try and do something about this. Kate, Cruiser Drizzle back in the base, not able to do a whole heck of a lot. But this is exactly what Ezreal Life need to be doing. They did lose their top, but Owl is still farming really well. Considering it's a Renekton, and he's been killed twice, he's doing really well. Doesn't matter how many times Vladimir dies, he always comes back. It's just a matter of when. And that's the best that Koreanbbq ASEC can do. They've shut down this Vlad as much as they could, considering he got first blood, which is really well done by Danshi Bunny, camping on him there to make sure that his CS is limited. But taking his tower means he's going to be able to farm a lot better, a lot safer. Renekton's going to have to overextend to get that bullying down. The mid tower would be the best target for Koreanbbq, which is exactly what they're going for. The Dragon will be up in 30 seconds, not Baron. Dragon. Well, actually, Baron's up in 10 seconds, so close enough. But this thing here that spawns and gives gold is going to be up in a matter of moments. And Koreanbbq, they're in prime position to take that. They need to make something happen, because Orianna, she's holding this off fairly decently by herself. With Evelyn coming in, it's going to be even harder. The inner flame comes out and the bomb, so a lot of damage going on to Horse. Probably going to want to pick up a Hex Drinker soon, because the magic damage is quite ridiculous between Ziggs and Karma there. As Koreanbbq, they're going to engage onto the Dragon, which is, they've had fantastic Dragon control. If they get this one, it will be the second of two. Not a lot that Evelyn can do to get in on this one. She could flash the wall, but it is much too late. 238 gold going into her pocket, as just the poke from Ziggs is going to take Alf Stewart very low indeed. He actually, despite owning the lane, he doesn't have his Grail just yet. 2,000 gold, because he's been forced to hold this middle tower. He can't go anywhere. So he's forced to make sure that they do not get that push, because it opens up the map way too much for Koreanbbq. So nice play out of Alf Stewart, nice decision making, and his team will take over for him to go and pick up a needlessly large rod along with the boots there, as the aggression will be going on in the mid. Hypto able to clear the way from very, very far away here. Dragon did of course go down, Baron is up, but I don't think either team really in a position to take it at this point. 3,000 gold in the favor of Koreanbbq, but an AoE comp that's not that behind is still quite good. Agony's Embrace used on Framer here, as he's going to try and use the slice of dice to get over the wall, but the dice will not be enough. It was a nice idea there from Framer, just didn't work out in the end. So blue buff secured for Alf Stewart, nice win for Ezreal Life there. And the kill, I think it did go over to Horse in the end, so that's decent as well. How much gold is he sitting on? 600, so he could start working towards Hex Drinker, or could start working on Randuin's. Really up to him. He could go for a Banshees as well, that'd be decent. As Owl going to continue farming up here at the top, going for an Hourglass to just try and stay as safe as possible against the Vi, the Renekton, and Kate. And of course, Hourglass shuts down Assault Battery if timed absolutely perfectly. As the push in the mid continuing on. Alf Stewart doing a lot of damage to Cruiser Dizzle though. So it's a bit of a trade, although Alf Stewart took a lot more. The tower sitting at about a quarter of its HP, and they don't look like they're going to let up here. Framer continues up to his island at the top. He will abandon his tower to try and aggress on Owl, and it will not be enough. Looks like the tier 1 in the mid will go down though. Just the presence of Vi is going to force him off. Nice shockwave comes out from Orianna, but Vi is going to turn around and use her ultimate on Evelyn, which shuts down that damage completely. And now Ezreal Life in a full retreat. Nice satchel charge used there by Hypto. Beach Bat barely cannot get away after the British woman flashes after her. and gets a last hit off. Al now is going to be caught in the middle of the enemy team, but he may find an avenue of escape here. He doesn't have Hemo Plague, though. That's the problem. There's not a lot he can do without his ultimate here, without that pop. And, of course, the amplified damage. So now the tier 2 could be under aggression. The AoE comp doesn't work when the AoE isn't all there or available. The tier 2 will also fall. 4 towers going the way of the Koreanbbq. Only the top being taken down by Ezreal Life, and that was only recently. So Koreanbbq doing a brilliant job at shutting down the area of effect, team fight capabilities of Ezreal Life. But they've got to keep in mind, Renekton falls off. Caitlyn, she's decent late game, but nowhere near a Tristana. A 6-item Tristana will do mean things all over a Caitlyn. As when they've both fully slotted, that is. With Caitlyn being 40 CS, or I think it's 40? 37? I don't know, I don't want to do maths. 38 CS above the Trist, and 2 kills as well. Trist doesn't have a single digit in the KDA. Kate's going to be looking much stronger at the current time. Even if they were even on items, Kate would be looking stronger right now just because she has more on-demand range, and her headshots will be hitting a lot harder. Trist really needs to get levels up in the rapid fire, really needs to get an infinity edge before she becomes a lot more respectable in her damage. I like the Negatron pickup by Horse because as soon as he got turned around on by Vi with the Assault and Battery, Dangy Buddy lifted him up and he became a glowing beacon for Ziggs, Karma, and Caitlyn to just blow the hell up. And after that, there wasn't a lot left for Ezreal Life to do. Tristana's going to be jumping into the middle of the enemy team, but Shockwave will mean that it works. Al's going to Ghost after Kate. There's nothing she can do. Mega Inferno Bomb not going to do anything. Nice flash there by Horse to continue the aggression. It was a nice Dark Binding out of Peachbat as well to start that all off. And Soul Shackles is still available. Framer going to be coming down from the top lane, but it is too little too late. Hemo Plague still available, but a nice engage there from Danshi Bunny is going to mean the end of Orianna. All the AoE going down. Soul Shackles will not take down Vi. No, she does die in the end, but it is a 1-for-1. The fight going very even at the moment. Buster Shot used on Hipto, but it is only level 1, so it doesn't do that much. And AQN forced off Renekton in the middle of the fray, but he can't do anything. And in the end, it is a 2-for-2 with very even, actually, as far as everything's concerned. A support and a mid laner for a jungler and an AD carry. I'd say shutting down the Caitlyn would be, oh, not really shut down because she wasn't on a spree, but stopping her, you know, going to farm after that fight, very much worth it. And it shows that Ezreal Life, despite being behind by a solid 4,500 gold, they've still got the potential here. So apparently the stream's gone down for Tony. Try refreshing because it looks like the stream's fine for most people, so it should be okay. Dragon is up in 30 seconds time. I have to see if Koreanbbq managed to control that one, or if Ezreal Life have begun their long comeback here. Hourglass will be a key item for Al. He has more than enough for it, and then for another item as well if he goes for the Rylays. That would be decent. A lot of damage on Cruiser Drizzle just by a combo out of Orianna here. And the Dragon Timer is known to both teams. They're going to be trying to clear out the vision for each other. But Vi will be coming in. I don't think she has Assault and Battery just yet. Nice Dark Binding is going to shut it down anyway. Assault and Battery is actually, yeah, it is back up. So that Dark Binding, the only thing standing between Horse and, well, getting away, I guess. Or Dancy Binding and Horse. So Dragon quickly going to be taken down thanks to catching out the Evelyn just a little bit thanks to the pink wards. And yeah, the ping's going out from Koreanbbq. They need to push back the wave at top. So it looks like they will spread out for the time being. They could send up a Mega Inferno Bomb while they send the rest of their team bot to try and push. As the blue team are going to be pushing up the mid here. Rapid Fire getting closer to that sweet level 5 mark. 90% I believe it gets to. It's, or is it 120? No, I think it is 90. As a strong wave coming in at the bottom here. The minions aren't the healthiest though. Peachbat going to be doing a little bit of damage to Kate, which she quickly heals back up because AD carries are, you know, not vulnerable at all when it comes to poke. And minions, of course. There's nothing to hit, nothing to lifesteal. A lot of, well, decent magical damage going down at an AoE there from the Karma and the Ziggs. We have Horse waiting off to the side to try and flank. As soon as Cruiser Drizzle goes too far forward, he will engage on them. and then we'll see a big aggression come in from the blue team. But they're taking too much poke damage. Owl's at half, the Morg is at half as well, and the wave clear from both teams is really strong. It's just the power of Koreanbbq forcing them out. Shockwave will be used on the red team. Heal is forced as well. Agony's Embrace will hit 4, so Horse is just going to tank them up. Gives time for the blue team to get in. Assault Battery used to take her down. But Soul Shackles and Hemo Plague will go off. Renekton will end up falling. So it is a jungler for a top lane. Will they be able to stop this push though? That's the key thing. Well, El Stewart's falls dangerously low, but they may be able to stick around here. No. The Ezreal Life are forced to concede the tower after a valiant defense. Brilliant Agony's Embrace out of Horse. He tanked for so long, but it was not enough in the end. With Dancy Bunny just turning around and knocking her in the air. We've got the Kate and Vi combo. It's actually interesting if you consider the synergy between Vi and Kate, because if you think about it, Vi picks someone out and knocks everyone out of the way to get towards them, and then Kate, you know, threads the needle with her ultimate. So if they use it at the same time, it's pretty awesome. But there we saw Ace in the Hole used as a follow-up more than, you know, with the initiate, which is fair enough, because in that situation, Kate easily able to auto-attack. You shouldn't waste time where you can auto-attack by channeling your ult. Same thing with Lucian. If you can auto-attack, you shouldn't be channeling the ult. It's just bad timing. So we can see that Ezreal Life continuing to hold on, continuing to try and farm up. Their late game is much better if they can protect this Tristana, which they definitely have the means to do. They've got Protect, they've got the Black Shield, they've got really strong front line with, it's actually AP front line, which is pretty cool, although Evelyn's more of a kind of a hybrid at the moment. Owl is getting reasonably tanky. Looks like he's going for a Rylays. I can't imagine a Void Staff being good with the lack of magic resist on the enemy team. I mean, the front line's got it, but you shouldn't be worried about them. Although the Locket of the Iron Solari pickup by Chubby makes a lot of sense. It's going to heavily mitigate the amount of AoE that comes out from the enemy team. It's actually very strong pickup there. As Peachbat, will she manage to get out? She does indeed. So gets a little bit of damage onto Chubby and is better off for it. Her ward does get cleared out though. Shout out to Curly, please, saying hello in the Twitch chat. You're very welcome. And he wants the Ezreal Live. So it looks like actually both teams are going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, really. The mid tower will be sacrificed for the top tier 2. It actually is the last tower outside of Ezreal Life's base will now be going down. But the mid tower, quite key. I don't know if we're losing a base is worth it. They're actually going to force the Caitlyn to recall there. No, they're going to make the call to continue on the aggression. They realize that this is a base race they can win. Ziggs is going to head back, as is Tristana, as a base race is actually looking pretty damn likely here. The tier 3 at top will end up falling, and the inhibitor soon to follow. The tier 3 will be worked on, but not nearly as quickly by Ezreal Life. They're going to be forced to get back here. Tristana, she actually joined her team, she didn't recall. So the Nexus Tower falling lower and lower as Ziggs holds off the push by himself. And that is one Nexus Tower going down, along with a whole bunch of turrets and an inhibitor, just for a tier 2 in the mid and a bit of damage on the tier 3, or actually a decent bit of damage, but certainly not worth it. Cruiser Drizzle going to be in the completely wrong area. Buster Shot used, forces the flash out. But now AK Huge might be there. Nice Black Shield comes out of Peachbat there, but Assault Battery will be used to finish off our Stewart. Agony's Embrace is very good, but there is not enough here. Hemo Plague was here too late. It will mean the death of Vi. She's not going to be able to escape this one. Owl, can he get out though? That's the problem. Wow, how did Dancy Bunny survive? Was that a summoning heal? I think it was. Karma just saved Vi with the heal, and that will mean this push is going on very strong here. Ezreal Life not in a position to defend. Al Stewart's had brilliant shockwaves all game. Didn't even get it off that time because Vi surprised him over the wall. That is the second inhibitor going down, with a slew of turrets remaining for Koreanbbq here. The Baron area is getting watered by red as well as the Dragon area. So they're going to look for objectives after pushing so much into the base. So this actually is a Void Staff, so you're going for maximum damage here. So this is the point in time where it becomes a little bit difficult for both teams, because if you look at Koreanbbq, they're facing the dilemma of a Tristana having minions delivered to her base. She's going to be able to sit in the base and farm. But the problem with that as it leaves the map wide open for Koreanbbq, which means the Baron is all theirs, Dragon is all theirs, all the buffs are all theirs. So it's smart of Ezreal to take this time to clear out their jungle and make as much money as they can while they still can, as the Baron will be cleared of vision thanks to the Ruthless Predator from Renekton giving him a couple of attacks. The Pink Ward must have just been giving vision of that one. Sneaky little Flower Ward from the Eve there, as the as red team going to be coming down here. Tips Fedora, looks like they're playing soon, so hopefully we'll get to catch their game. But we still have to see if Ezreal can bring this back, or if they've run their course. It's been a nice comeback thus far. The kills looking quite even, but the gold 9,000 or maybe 8,900 behind. It's an uphill battle for sure, but like we've said, they've got the late game. They need to do something about this so they can't get poked out. Shockwave's going to be used on both of the carries here. Amy's Embrace goes down along with a lot of AoE. The Vi is under the tower, taking down the Morgana. Framer is in the middle of things, and Evelyn will not be able to take down Framer. Double kill for the Ziggs. They only trade their Caitlyn for a whole bunch of kills on the side of Ezreal. They only have Vlad and Trist left to defend this one, and they have their base surrounded in minions, as AQN not going to be able to get away from that. Vlad charges towards her, and a killing spree picked up by Hipto on his Ziggs. The tower in the Nexus will stand for now, but the last inhibitor will end up falling. They are going to respawn very soon, but not soon enough. Although the levels on Ezreal not maxed, so they're going to get up in time, possibly to defend this one. They have a lot of AoE, not used to kill champions, maybe to kill minions. The siege minion, he wants a tower, and they will get it in the end. And the last Nexus tower does fall, but a successful defense. If you can call it successful, I mean, it's the bare minimum of successful. Their Nexus is still alive. Baron is still up, but I don't think they can contest this one. Their Nexus is completely unprotected. Even the inhibitor is not back up. They're confined to the base now. So like we said, Trist going to be able to farm these up, but I think they've run their course at this point. Baron, very likely a possibility here. Of course, Kate can shoot it over the wall because Caitlyn range is completely balanced. To be fair, Tristana at level 17 can do the same thing, but Kate can do it from level 1, so she's OP. Nerf British people. So, wonder if Ezreal can do anything about this. Baron is being started up by Piltover's finest here, as wow, that sweeper range is massive on the Vi. The bomb comes in as well. The rest of Koreanbbq going to come in for this Baron. Ezreal, they're going to try and do something about this. Is the Baron pit where they can stack their AoE. Hourglass used a little bit too early. Vi gets the spike onto the Baron, as AQN is CC'd up by Karma, forced to get out. Hipsu picks up a rampage on the Ezreal. Alstewart going to fall to Framer as well. Ace in the hole will take down Peach Bat there, as there is only one member left of Ezreal, and that may be all she wrote. The Nexus will explode, and round K will go the way of Koreanbbq set A. So brilliantly played by both teams there. It was a very close comeback, or very close to a comeback from our Ezreal here, but they will end their journey for now. So it's good to see them at Landslide, good to see them here, hope to see them more in the Victorian tournaments. Well done to Koreanbbq Live. Looking forward to seeing them in the later stages of Respawn here today. Our MVP would have to go to, it's actually a difficult one. I think Hipto, for kind of suiciding into the enemy and then picking up a bunch of kills off of his team at the end, getting, I think, all 4 of those at the end. So a MVP to him, but the team did brilliantly together. So thank you for tuning in, ladies and gents, and we'll be back with the next round as soon as possible.